Hello everyone, my name is Sadie. This is my channel, YinReikiLight. Welcome back. And I wanted to do this message today because it's been coming through very strongly for me. This is going to be about karmic completion and karmic returns. So I'm going to briefly touch on things that I mentioned in the videos I did, I think like 2 months back, about karma. So basically, in this life, when we incarnate, we all come in with sort of like a karma credit limit, right? And everybody's is different because it depends on the age of your soul. What I mean age of your soul means, some souls are older than others, so that will play into a factor, your karma and all the sort of past life karma that you've experienced. Also, the things that you've done previously in previous lifetimes that were out of balance. You typically will choose circumstances in your current incarnation. What I mean by circumstances is, family dynamics, family relationships, and other circumstances to come into, to incarnate to, so that you can clear and balance any sort of karmic debt that you may have come in with. So with these karmic credit limits, we can sort of accrue karmic debt to a certain period. And then once we hit that sort of karmic debt limit or the credit limit, then the karmic debt is due and owing. And that is, again, it's different for everybody. It's kind of why, sometimes people will see different people and be like, okay, this person's a bad person and they're always getting away with all the bad things that they do. That is because that person has a very, very high karmic credit limit. And eventually it is going to have to come into balance. Eventually it will be, it will be due and owing. But until then, you kind of have free will in this realm, and people choose sometimes to test the limits, right? But also you can accrue significant karma credit in this life too. So you may have been born with a certain karmic credit limit, but you've used your free will and you've used this incarnation to really do good for others and to really be kind and loving and to be aligned with your soul's path and purpose. And that gives you even more karmic credit. So why I'm bringing this up right now is because we are in between eclipses. So we just had last week on the 26th, the major full moon. It was a blood moon. It was a supermoon lunar eclipse in, I believe it was Sagittarius. And we are coming up upon the new moon eclipse in Gemini, which is going to be on June 10th. After the Sagittarius full moon eclipse, Saturn, the planet of karma, the taskmaster, Saturn went retrograde. And typically during Saturn retrogrades, karma kind of feels like it's not, it just kind of feels like it's not really being counted. You might feel like you've done a lot of good, but you're not seeing good returns. Vice versa, you might feel like, oh man, other people are doing some dirt and they're not getting caught for it. However, basically what Spirit told me is because we are in this eclipse portal, it's kind of like a fast track to karmic completions and karmic returns. So let me explain this. I had a situation earlier this week where someone did something really, really crummy to me. And instead of doing what I normally may have done in the past, I decided to do something good for this person just because it was their birthday. And because I did that act, and I did it from the place of my soul, so I made a choice, even though they were kind of crummy to me and they did something kind of dirty to me, I made a choice not to be the better person, but I just made a choice that just because they were crummy to me doesn't mean that I have to be crummy back, right? And because I had said that I was going to do this thing, I wanted to give my word for it. And I did it, and I instantly got a huge karmic credit for it. I got a big gift for it. And not only that, the negativity that was sort of like brewing in this situation got quashed and sort of balanced immediately. So why I'm bringing this up is a lot of us right now are going through what I like to call tests. And these tests are showing up in challenges. Some of these challenges may come out of nowhere for you, where everything's fine 1 minute and then boom, you're hit with an unanticipated situation or obstacle that you were not expecting to encounter. The other thing is, some of us may be going through things where it's like a pattern from the past comes back that you thought that you had cleared or balanced, or you thought that you had healed. So now you're seeing yourself, it could have been years ago when you went through a certain situation with a certain person, you thought everything was good. And now here we are between eclipse cycles and during this Saturn retrograde period, and the same sort of issues are coming back up with this person, or the same sort of situation is happening again. You're seeing a pattern. That's how you know it's karma, because you see a pattern. You see a pattern of behavior. So what I was guided to share is to get the karmic credit right now, because it will come back almost instantly to you, is to start making decisions from the place of your soul. So your soul is unconditional love, it's compassion, it's peace, it's tolerance, it's non-judgment, and it's for the highest good of all involved. If you can learn to respond from your soul, from the truth of who you are, and not react from your ego, and your ego is your lower nature, which is fear, survival, service to self, only thinking about your own needs, not considering other people's needs or feelings, addictions, obsessions. These are all aspects of the ego. You need both. We live in duality. Duality is both light and dark existing simultaneously, so you need both. But with Saturn and these eclipse portals, everything is coming into balance. You're going to see huge balances. And so if you can learn to choose and make choices and truly respond to any tests and challenges and adversities that come up for you right now from the point of view of your soul. So from unconditional love, what would love do? Instead of, I'm gonna attack this person because they attacked me, I'm gonna defend myself because I feel threatened or triggered, I'm gonna whatever the ego does, it always justifies its behavior because its sole purpose is to survive. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But if you can learn to respond from your soul and not react from your ego, you're going to see huge karmic returns and karmic credits given to you that you were not expecting at this time. The other thing they wanted me to bring through is karmic completions. So a lot of these tests and challenges are coming up for us because we are basically kind of, how they showed me was like, if you have ever seen like a wishbone, and so it goes in two directions. So it's like a fork in the road. And basically what they're saying is we're all in a new timeline and can choose that new timeline and be fast-tracked on the new timeline if we complete these sort of karmic tests that are coming up for us right now. Karmic completion will, it'll get resolved, it'll get balanced, and then you can sort of fast track to the new timeline, which is a higher timeline, or you can sort of continue to sort of make the same choices that you've always made and do things the way that you've always done and sort of veer off and continue to learn go through the same karma and go through the same lessons that you're sick and tired of. Basically, that's what they said. And they said, that's where free will comes in. Free will is your point of power. And so if you, at this time, if you notice that you're being tested, if you notice that you're being triggered, if you notice that you're being, challenged more than usual, what Spirit said really was look at the patterning. Look at what is familiar about that test, challenge, and trigger in your situation and make a different choice. Consciously, deliberately make a different choice than you've made in the past, and you will have a different outcome. So, the reason why I wanted to bring this through is because, we really do have the opportunity. It's kind of like the message that I brought through yesterday. You can really be anything you want right now, and the doorway is wide open. It's wide open. There's no true obstacles or blocks on your path. But when you're getting these tests and challenges, it's basically Saturn shows being like the teacher, and it's like giving you a pop quiz. Did you learn the lesson? Are you actually learning the lesson, or do you need more of this situation and experience so that you can learn the lesson and pass the test in the future? So just really, really take a good look at where you feel like you're being challenged or tested, because there is a lesson there for you. And if you get the lesson, the test will dissipate. So say you're dealing with someone who is really needy, really just sort of like has no boundaries, just expects like too much from you. Maybe your lesson is to be more patient. Maybe your lesson is to stand up for yourself and speak up and say, hey, you know what? This is a really imbalanced situation and this is what I need. Or say you're going through a financial crisis and you're looking at your life and you're looking at, here I am again in this situation. Where can you bring more balance? And where can you make a decision that is from your soul and not from your ego? Where can you cut back? Where can you, ask for help? Maybe your lesson is just to ask others to help you and learn that it's okay to accept help and to not have to only just lean on yourself. The lesson is going to be different for everybody. The tests are going to be different for everybody because we know no one size fits all, and everybody is sort of at a different place in their consciousness and in their evolution on their spiritual path. But if you can really do that during the next 2 weeks, start to make choices and decisions that are not what you would have done in the past, and really be conscious of, okay, am I making a response from my soul, or I'm choosing to react from my ego? Because if you can choose to make the response from your soul, you're going to get huge karmic returns, and it's going to be incredible. You're going to have things that just open up for you that you weren't even expecting. You're going to have blessings, miracles, everything just sort of drop into your lap. This is the right place. This is the right time. And so just believe that, and just really, 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 make a different choice. Really, it's not always easy in the moment, because especially like when we're being tested or challenged by someone, especially if we're in a difficult situation, you know, your first thought is to like protect yourself or defend yourself, or, you know, or to do what that other person's doing. But if you cannot do that, if you can stop yourself from doing that, Saturn and this eclipse portals are really going to help support you to move forward to your higher timeline and to move forward and manifest everything that you want and need and desire at this time. So I hope this video helped. It's a really, really powerful time. Utilize the power for your highest good. And how to do that is just stay in your soul, stay in your heart. For me, I've just had to like kind of take a break from people, but I'm feeling a lot better this week than I was, because I was in a really, really pessimistic space the last few weeks prior. So it's been good for me to kind of just take more time to myself, have more rest. But really, we are being fast tracked right now, especially during this eclipse portal. You literally, what they're telling me is like literally in the next 2 weeks, you could have everything that you want manifest if you can stay in your heart and make choices and choose responses that are from your soul, and let go of the old patterning and just allow the karma that has been reoccurring in your life to be completed. Okay, so I hope this video helped. I hope everyone has a beautiful weekend. Take care.